There's three core team members you have to focus on before you even get to an employee, right? So let's just dive right in. If you like any of this stuff, if you love it, if you want more of it, definitely subscribe, do a little like button, share it with your friends, share it with your mom, I don't care. Hopefully it just adds some value, right? So number one team member you have to focus on, right? Now we all grew up with this saying, our parents said, there's no I in team. Well, today there's certainly a me, right? And that's where we have to focus on, right? So when we first started Hite Digital, I asked myself the question, if I was a team member, if I was paying my own salary, would I be okay? Would I be pissed off? Would I be frustrated? Would I be upset with my work? The chances are, most of you guys, if you were your own team member, you'd fire yourself. I mean, think about it. If JC, I'm gonna do an out-of-body experiment. If JC was on Facebook as much as an employee as I am as an owner, would I fire myself? Would I be okay with that? If I spent as much time just hanging out on Twitter or on TikTok or the latest social media platform during the day, would you be okay with that if it was the same for your team member? Chances are no. If you woke up and started working, if your team member woke up and started working at 10 o'clock in the afternoon or 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever, would you be okay with that? If your team member, if the person you hired and you paid and you blood, sweat, and tears, if they only worked 3 or 4 hours a day, would you be cool with that? You see, most of us, if we weren't in digital marketing, if we weren't in entrepreneurship, we would have no doubts about working 40 to 50 hours per week, dedicated, week in and week out for someone else. But yet when we first get started, we don't want to put in the work for our own dreams, for our own mission, for our own goals or commitments, right? The number one team member on your team that you have to be able to manage, that you have to be able to focus on, that you have to be able to lead in a sense is yourself. I don't have the desire or the goals or the ambition or the commitment worthy to get up at 8 a.m. and start working, to work hard through the whole day, to make all my Salesforce notes, to not be distracted by Facebook. If I can't do it for myself, how in the world would I expect someone else to do that for me? The number one team member is yourself. The number two team member you have to have on your team, and this is a segmented audience, right? This is only for married people. But it's your spouse. And if you're not married, it's your dad, your mom, your cousins, but these guys are gonna be the most real with you. For me at Hite, my wife, for the first many years of our business, wasn't involved. She wasn't a paid employee per se, but she was a huge element in our success. The Bible says a virtuous wife, there's nothing more valuable than a virtuous wife, right? And so use your spouse. They know you better. They know you when you're being a fraud or a fake. They know everything about you. And if you listen to them, you invite them into the conversation, you get their opinion, there's nothing more valuable. There's so many times where I get home and I talk to my wife about, man, team member A did this or customer did this or anybody. The value that she brings back to the table, knowing the entire story, knowing with my struggles at night, knowing what keeps me up at night, knowing about that entire big picture value, there's nothing that surpasses it. Number 3, team members you gotta have is mentors, right? Coaches, mentors, advisors. If you don't have them, start reading books, right? For me, one of my favorite books, you've heard me mention it, Leadership by Dave Ramsey. Started reading this forever. Yesterday, signed a contract with Dave Ramsey and the Leadership team. We are like one of the official sponsors now of Dave Ramsey. They're sponsoring everything we do at Hite Digital, right? And so what once was just a book, now there's a lot of relationship going on there. What are the mentors you have that are driving your success, right? So number 1, you got myself. How am I leading myself? Number 2, my family. How are they impacting the growth of my business and the support system, helping me make decisions? Number 3, mentors, people that have already paved the way. Just as a side note, when it comes to mentors, just as a small side note, find mentors that have actually done what you want to do. And guys, number 4, finally, we get to team members. Hiring a team that can help drive your success. In order to get to this stage, you got to already be profitable. You got to be pushing forward. You don't want to double your company if you're not making any money. Focus on yourself first. If you hire a sales guy, make sure you can teach them and you can coach them and you can mentor them and you can keep them accountable to KPIs that make sense. Know what you're doing when you hire that team member. And I guarantee you, if you follow these four, if you focus on all four of these core elements of your team, I guarantee you're gonna have that much more of a chance of being successful. Guys, definitely hit us up. If you like this video, again, make sure to subscribe, like it. Hit us up at digitalagencyhacker.com. If you want to learn about how to scale an agency, if you're interested in franchising or becoming a part of Hite in any way, shape, form, or fashion, hit up hitedigital.com. Guys, message me on any form of social media. I try my best to respond to everyone. Hope you guys have a blessed day and make it a great one.